name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Minimalist 10% AHA BHA exfoliant. Now the AHA refers to lactic acid and glycolic acid, whereas BHA is salicylic acid. Now all those exfoliating acids help to shed off the dead skin cells on the skin surface, to smoothen textured skin, to create a more even complexion and give back some radiance. Additionally, AHA helps to increase the natural hyaluronic acid within the skin, which then helps to increase hydration. And BHA has anti-inflammatory properties and helps to unclog pores. Now, combined with those exfoliating acids, they have added hyaluronic acid, which is not an exfoliating acid. It is primarily just to add a temporary hydration to the skin. So overall, the formulation is quite gentle and hydrating on the skin, and therefore it can be used on all skin types, ideally in your evening skincare routine. Now, when it comes to how often you should use it, if you're being completely new to it, I recommend starting off by using it 2 to 3 times per week, and do this for some time to see how your skin is going to tolerate that frequency. If you can already see some improvements while doing this specific frequency, well then just keep on going. There's no need to increase it, there's no need to reduce it if that's already the right guide that works well for you. However, if you think over some time, well, I want to increase the frequency, the next step would be using it every other day, and then the last step would be using it daily in your evening skincare routine. Now, how often you can use the exfoliant is very individual. This is just an overall general guide so that you have an idea on how you can adjust the frequency based on what works well for your skin tolerance. Now, overall, as I already mentioned, it can be used on all skin types, but if you should have a more sensitive skin, and if you have already tried exfoliating acids in the past and they may always lead to stinging and burning, well then this may not be the best exfoliant for you. However, you could go ahead and try to dilute it with your moisturizer, which I'm going to show you at the end of this video, so that you then can get your skin used to the exfoliant, and then either just keep on going with diluting it with your moisturizer, or then after some time your skin may be able to tolerate it on its own. It was just like the adjustment that it needs, so some time until to get used to the product before you can use it on its own. And overall, when now working with this exfoliant, it should be in your evening skincare routine. So an example routine would look like this. You're starting off with washing your face, using a regular cleanser that's suitable for your skin type. Please avoid exfoliating acid cleansers, or if you should have used mineral sunscreen or even heavy makeup, stubborn waterproof makeup, pigmented makeup that you usually do not really get properly off the skin with your regular cleanser, then you can change to an oil or balm cleanser, or maybe do a double cleanse to properly get everything off the skin. Then after you've washed your face, you're moving on to the exfoliating acid serum. Then you're going to apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin, there's no need to wash it off. And then as the last step, if you should feel the need, you can follow with a moisturizer. Then when it comes to morning skincare routine, all what's important to do there is washing your face using a regular cleanser that's suitable for your skin type, and then following with sun protection afterwards. Now, using a sunscreen throughout the day is extremely important, not only because of the damaging UV rays that then can increase fine lines and wrinkles, surface hyperpigmentation, like overall sun damaged skin, and maybe overall some skin concerns based on like related to your skin type, but because you're now working with an exfoliant which helps to loosen the dead skin cells on the skin surface so that the new skin cells can come forward, you want to make sure that you're going to protect them. Because you're trying to improve your skin concerns, you do not want to make it worse. Therefore, sun protection throughout the day is important. And so therefore this would be then the last step in your morning skincare routine. Now you can keep it just as simple as that. If that's all what's covering your skin concerns, you want to protect your skin, there you go. However, if you now say, well, I do have other treatments at home as well that I'm trying to include in my routine, but I'm not sure how, I now want to get into the conflict part as well as what should not be used in the same routine, because it can potentially lead to sensitivity, like stinging or burning, or even to the worst extent a compromised skin barrier. So the first ones would be the actual conflicts. So this is going to be the peptide serums. So this would refer to the ordinary peptide serums as well as the one that Minimalist has. Otherwise, you can destroy the benefits of your peptide serum. So therefore, use your peptide serum in the morning and then you exfoliate in the evening. Same would apply to the ordinary EUK antioxidant serum or the minimalist niacinamide serum that contains EUK, because otherwise you're going to destroy the benefits of EUK when working with an exfoliant. It does not like the low pH environment. So therefore, again, use your EUK or niacinamide with EUK in the morning, your exfoliant in the evening. Then when it comes to what should not be used in the same routine because it can lead to sensitivity, the first one would be exfoliating acid masks. Please do not use this serum after exfoliating acid mask. You have already such a potent exfoliating acid mask. You do not need to exfoliate the skin again. Give your skin a break and basically use your exfoliant when not using the exfoliating acid masks. And when it comes to the other point, this would be leave-on exfoliating acids. So this is basically already a leave-on exfoliant. You do not want to use it in the same routine with other leave-on exfoliating acids because this can potentially be too much for the skin to tolerate. The other point would be retinol or retinoid. So since both should be used in the evening, you do not want to use them in the same routine, but you can use them on alternate evenings. So on Monday you exfoliant, on Tuesday your retinol or retinoid, on Wednesday you exfoliant, and so on, so that you can still use both in the evening but just on different days. And the last point would be vitamin C products that contain more than 15% of ascorbic acid, because the higher the percentage of ascorbic acid, and if the formulation has an overall a more potent formulation plus a low pH, this can potentially lead to stinging and burning. It does not have to happen, but I do want to emphasize it. Depending on how your skin is going to tolerate it, try them at first like on their own to see how your skin is going to tolerate them by themselves before thinking of using them together. Again, the last part, they do not actually conflict with one another, but it can potentially create more sensitivity than necessary. So therefore just use them individually on their own in the skincare routine. Now this will be it for the conflict part and the sensitivity part. I now went ahead into the entire application, so I have the simple setup right here of the evening skincare routine. So again, we are starting off with the cleansing step. This is the most important step to do before applying your leave-on products, because it can properly help you to remove your sunscreen, makeup, and excess oil, dirt, and sweat from the skin. So again, remember, if you're trying to remove your stubborn sunscreen and makeup, you may want to just use an oil balm cleanser or do a double cleanse. If you want to see such a specific video, I have it for you in the top right corner. Otherwise, if you just went with a light makeup, chemical sunscreen, those usually come off quite easily with your regular cleanser. And so I'm going to show you now the application above the sink, but in the evening, the best thing that you can do, which I highly recommend, is washing your face in the shower. This way you're making sure that you can get everything properly off before continuing with the rest of your evening skincare routine. So as an example, I have Cetaphil's Daily Facial Cleanser right here, which is suitable for combination to oily skin. In India, this one is called the Oily Skin Cleanser. But nonetheless, that's the one that I'm going to choose. If you have a drier skin type, well then look for a cleanser that's more suitable for dry skin. Here it is advised to apply the cleanser to wet skin, so I recommend starting off with, first of all, clean hands. If your hands are unclean, wash your hands at first before washing your face. Then you're starting off with splashing some lukewarm water to your face, neck and hands. Use a bit of the cleanser, massage it all over your face and neck, and then rinse it off. In between, as always, I highly recommend using a makeup cloth, those microfiber cloths, which can help to properly remove any sunscreen, makeup, and residue of your cleanser from the skin, because by just using your hands, especially when doing this above the sink, you cannot properly take it off. Therefore, I highly recommend getting one of those washcloths. They are very gentle, so when swiping it across your face, they do not harm your skin. They just make sure that everything comes properly off. So let's go ahead and get started. Use between 1 to 2 pumps, so about a coin size amount of cleanser on the palm of your hand. Rub your hands together and then massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute, making sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. So, and now go ahead and rinse most of it off by just using your hands and a bit of water, and then in between we are going to include the washcloth. Now take your clean washcloth and wet it. Squeeze it out. And now gently swipe it across your face to take off any last traces of cleanser, maybe sunscreen and makeup as well. And now go ahead, rinse again. And now take a clean towel and gently pat all over to properly remove the remaining water drops from the skin surface. Please do not rub. So once you're done with your cleansing step, you can move on to the leave-on exfoliant. Now, since that one has a quite light texture, 2 to 3 drops is not enough for your face and neck. So therefore I recommend going with at least 5 drops. And if you want to include your neck as well, then you can go with about 8 to 10 drops in total. Now you can adjust the amount, but you should be able to properly blend it all over your face and neck to properly cover it, but still have just a very thin layer all over so it can easily absorb into the skin. Now when working with exfoliant, please do not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth, and please do not use it on top of your eyelids nor on the eye contour, like the lower lash part right here, because usually that tends to be a bit more sensitive, and when getting an exfoliant too close to a sensitive area in general, this tends to irritate this part, so therefore be careful around that area. And so go ahead and take your exfoliant, and you can either dispense a few drops on the palm of your hand or immediately to your face, or even just use it a few drops on your fingertips. Whatever method works the best for you, go ahead and do so, and then evenly blend it all over. So once you have applied it all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. So since this is going to be your evening skincare routine, you're going to leave it on the skin for the entire night, and then when waking up the next morning, you're going to wash your face again. This is when you're going to rinse it off. So there is no limited time for how long you're going to leave it on the skin. Therefore, just leave it on the entire night and wash it off the next morning. And so you can stop right here if that's already enough for you. You can keep it really that simple. However, if you should feel the need to follow with a moisturizer afterwards, well, then you can go ahead and do so. I have one example right here, which is by Minimalist. This is the moisturizer with oat extract. And so in general, when working with a moisturizer, use between a pea to a bean size amount for your face and neck so that you can evenly and thinly blend it all over. Please do not overdo it with your moisturizer. So about that much, more or less. This can be slightly adjusted, but you shouldn't overdo it in general. And then blend it all over your face as well as neck. So, and once you've applied your moisturizer all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And then this is going to be the last step in your evening skincare routine. Now I would like to share with you how you can dilute your exfoliating acid serum with your moisturizer in case you cannot tolerate it on its own yet. But you want to give your skin a bit more time so it can adjust to it, and then maybe in the future you are going to be able to use this one in basically on its own again. So first of all, what you're going to do is use your moisturizer that you usually use, that's working well for your skin type. And you're going to dispense about a pea size to a bean size onto the palm of your hand, so that you have just enough to cover it all over your face and neck. And then go ahead, grab your exfoliant and add 2 to 3 drops of your exfoliant to your moisturizer. Do not overdo it, at least not in the beginning. Over time you can adjust it. You can always add more of the exfoliant to it and a bit less of the moisturizer so that you can get more potency of your exfoliant rather than your moisturizer. So over time you can slowly adjust it. But in the beginning I highly recommend using a bit more of your moisturizer and less of your exfoliant. So add 3 drops. Massage it on the palm of your hand. And once everything is nicely blended, then go ahead and apply it all over your face and neck. Now again, just use the exfoliant once, either on its own or dilute it with your moisturizer. Please do not use it twice. I just want to share with you how you can then dilute it and how you can adjust it over time to get your skin used to it, so that you have a chance that your skin is able to build up tolerance over time and then still work with your exfoliant to get the benefits that it offers. And so then this would be the way on how you can dilute the exfoliant with your moisturizer. Now this is what I primarily want to share with you on how you can use that 10% AHA BHA leave-on exfoliant. And I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I do want to remind you that you can find the example routines plus the conflicts and additional information in the description box down below, so go ahead and check it out. If you want to support my videos, my work in general, you can go ahead and do so by clicking on the super thanks button below this video or check out the description box. There is a PayPal link. Otherwise, the free way would be giving it a big thumbs up as well as sharing it with your friends and family. Now, if you now want to learn more about how you can properly apply your sunscreen and you want to see a setup of a morning as well as evening skincare routine in case you should have more than just one product, well then I'm going to leave some of the videos at the end of this video so that you can learn more about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!